Here's something every man needs to understand about modern dating. Women don't always wear their feelings on their sleeve. Sometimes a woman is interested in you, but she's trying not to show it. Maybe she's cautious, wants to protect herself, or is playing it cool to test your confidence and reaction. Whatever the reason, her behavior will still give away subtle clues. High-value men learn to read these signals because they separate guesswork from clarity. In today's dating world, direct communication is rare. Women may hesitate to express attraction openly for fear of rejection, appearing too eager or losing control of the dynamic. This doesn't mean they aren't interested. It means they're managing how much of their feelings they reveal. For a man who pays attention, these hidden signals are extremely valuable. Recognizing them allows you to understand her true interest and act confidently, rather than relying solely on words or surface-level interactions. The challenge is that many men miss these signs because they expect women to be overt. They mistake subtle hints for disinterest, or they overanalyze small gestures without seeing the bigger picture. A glance, a touch, a playful tease. These are all forms of communication, especially when she's trying to hide her feelings. Women often reveal their interest unconsciously through body language, tone, energy, and small actions. High-value men notice patterns rather than isolated moments, interpreting them accurately to gain insight into her intentions. In this video, we're going to break down 7 specific signs a woman likes you but is trying not to show it. Each sign is observable, reliable, and actionable. From micro-expressions to behavioral patterns, these clues reveal hidden attraction. Understanding them gives you the upper hand in reading her intentions and responding confidently, without needing her to spell everything out. By the end, you'll know exactly what to look for when a woman is concealing her feelings. You'll understand why she acts distant at times, why she teases you, or why she mirrors your energy. More importantly, you'll learn how to interpret these signals without overthinking or misreading them. This is about clarity, emotional intelligence, and confidence in navigating modern dating. 1. She mirrors your actions. One of the most subtle but powerful signs a woman likes you and is trying not to show it is when she mirrors your actions. This behavior often happens unconsciously. She adopts your posture, gestures, speech patterns, or even your energy level. Mirroring is a psychological response that signals comfort, rapport, and attraction. When a woman likes you, her body and behavior naturally align with yours, even if she's trying to hide it. Many men overlook this because it's subtle. She may sit the same way as you, use similar hand movements, or laugh in the same rhythm. Even small things like taking a sip of a drink when you do or tilting her head as you tilt yours are forms of mirroring. These are not coincidences. They reflect unconscious attraction. Women who are disinterested rarely mirror behaviors consistently. Behaviorally, mirroring can extend to speech and energy. She might start using words or phrases you commonly use, or match the intensity of your conversation. If you're excited, she seems more animated. If you're calm, she mirrors that energy as well. This unconscious synchronization signals that she feels connected to you and is paying close attention, even if she's deliberately trying not to reveal her feelings. Psychologically, mirroring serves 2 purposes. First, it builds rapport and comfort. She wants to feel aligned with you without overtly expressing attraction. Second, it's a subtle way to signal interest without vulnerability. Many women prefer to hide their feelings for fear of rejection or losing control, but mirroring becomes a natural outlet for attraction. High-value men notice these subtle patterns and interpret them accurately, rather than dismissing them as coincidences. Another way this shows up is in physical proximity. She may subconsciously lean closer when you lean forward, match your walking pace, or adjust her seating position to mirror yours. Even if she's acting reserved, these small adjustments indicate comfort and interest. Mirroring often appears alongside other subtle cues, like brief touches or playful teasing, which collectively reveal concealed attraction. Here's how to act. First, observe the patterns consistently, rather than focusing on isolated incidents. One mirrored gesture isn't proof of interest, but repeated unconscious alignment almost always indicates attraction. Second, respond naturally. Match her energy, maintain confident body language, and don't overanalyze. Mirroring is a conversation of subtle signals. Responding authentically encourages reciprocity without forcing the interaction. Third, use mirroring as a filter. When combined with other hidden cues, like teasing, prolonged eye contact, or slight touches, you can gain clarity on her true feelings. In short, mirroring is one of the most reliable unconscious signs a woman likes you while trying not to show it. High-value men notice these behaviors, interpret the hidden message, and respond confidently. Attraction often reveals itself through subtle alignment of actions, energy, and body language. Recognizing this pattern early gives you insight into her interest without needing her to openly admit her feelings. 2. She teases or playfully challenges you. Another classic sign a woman likes you but is trying not to show it is playful teasing or gentle challenges. This behavior often walks the line between flirtation and subtle deflection. She may joke about your habits, mock you lightly, or challenge your opinions. But underneath the surface, these interactions are designed to create connection and gauge your confidence. Many men misinterpret teasing as disinterest or even annoyance. They think, she's making fun of me, so she must not like me. In reality, playful teasing is a form of attraction. Women often hide interest because they don't want to appear too eager. By teasing, they create a safe, low-risk way to interact with you while keeping the upper hand. It's a strategy to test how you respond, measure your confidence, and establish rapport. Behaviorally, teasing shows up in many ways. She might make sarcastic comments, mock small habits, or challenge your opinions in conversation. She could be joking about your appearance, hobbies, or choices, but notice the tone. It's usually light, playful, and paired with subtle smiles or glances. She's watching your reaction closely. How you respond determines whether the dynamic becomes more flirtatious or stays friendly. Psychologically, teasing communicates attraction while preserving control. Women who hide interest often want to avoid vulnerability, and teasing provides an indirect way to connect. It also allows her to observe your personality under mild pressure. A man who responds with humor, confidence, and composure demonstrates that he can handle playful challenges and is emotionally resilient, qualities that increase attraction. Conversely, overreacting, getting defensive, or taking the teasing too seriously can signal insecurity, which can lower her interest. Teasing is often paired with micro cues of attraction. She may glance at you while teasing, smile subtly, or maintain physical proximity. These small gestures reinforce the underlying interest. Even if she tries to act aloof, her playful behavior indicates that she's emotionally invested in your interaction. High-value men notice these patterns over time, connecting the dots rather than dismissing individual moments as casual banter. Here's how to act. First, recognize the teasing as a sign of hidden attraction, not disinterest. Second, respond with confidence and humor. Match her playful energy without overthinking or trying to win every joke. This shows emotional intelligence and signals that you're comfortable in the dynamic. Third, observe patterns. Playful teasing combined with other subtle signals, like prolonged eye contact, mirroring, or slight touches, strongly indicates that she likes you while trying to maintain composure. In short, playful teasing is a powerful unconscious signal of interest. Women who hide attraction often use it to connect, test boundaries, and observe confidence. High-value men notice the behavior, interpret it correctly, and respond in ways that deepen rapport. Recognizing this early allows you to engage naturally, maintain your confidence, and identify hidden interest before it becomes obvious. 3. She maintains eye contact, then looks away. One of the most revealing signs a woman likes you, but is trying not to show it, is her eye behavior, specifically the combination of prolonged eye contact followed by quick glances away. Eyes are a subconscious channel for attraction, and when a woman hides interest, she may use eye contact strategically, connecting with you while also protecting herself from vulnerability. Many men misread this behavior. They may see her looking away and assume disinterest or distraction. In reality, the quick glance away often signals that she's aware of her attraction and is trying to appear composed. When a woman likes you, her gaze will frequently find yours, lingering longer than necessary before she quickly diverts it. This subtle push-pull communicates a hidden emotional interest without overtly stating it. Behaviorally, this shows up in different ways. During conversation, she may catch your gaze across the room, hold it for a moment, and then look down or to the side. While listening, her eyes may linger on you slightly longer than what seems casual, and she may smile softly when your eyes meet. Even in group settings, she may frequently glance in your direction, then act distracted when you notice. This mix of attention and avoidance is a hallmark of concealed attraction. Psychologically, this behavior serves multiple purposes. First, it allows her to gauge your interest without committing verbally. Second, it provides a way to express attraction safely while maintaining a facade of control. Women often feel vulnerable when showing interest directly, so subtle eye contact becomes a tool to communicate feelings without exposing too much. Men who miss these cues may underestimate her interest entirely. High-value men notice the patterns and interpret them accurately rather than relying solely on verbal confirmation. Another way eye contact manifests is through micro-expressions. A quick raise of the eyebrows, a slight smile, or a subtle dilation of pupils can all indicate hidden attraction. Even if she verbally distances herself, these unconscious signals often betray her feelings. When combined with other cues like mirroring, playful teasing, or small touches, it becomes clear that she's interested despite her attempts to appear aloof. Here's how to act. First, pay attention to consistency over time rather than isolated glances. One accidental look doesn't mean much, but repeated patterns indicate genuine hidden interest. Second, respond confidently. Maintain steady eye contact without staring aggressively. A calm, assured gaze communicates confidence and reciprocity. Third, use these signals to guide your interactions. Subtle acknowledgement, light smiles, or leaning in slightly can encourage her to feel more comfortable expressing attraction. In short, eye contact is a window into concealed feelings. Women who like you but try not to show it will mix connection with avoidance, signaling attraction subconsciously. High-value men notice these patterns, interpret them accurately, and respond with composure, building rapport while understanding hidden interest. Recognizing this behavior early gives you a major advantage in modern dating. 4. She finds subtle reasons to touch you. Another clear sign a woman likes you but is trying not to show it is subtle physical contact. She may not overtly flirt, but she finds small ways to touch you, brushing your arm, playful nudges, or casual hand contact. These touches are often brief and seemingly accidental, but they reveal attraction at a subconscious level. Women who hide interest use touch sparingly to signal connection without appearing too forward. Many men underestimate the significance of these small gestures. A brush of the hand or a tap on the shoulder can seem random or polite, but when repeated in context, it's a behavioral pattern that communicates interest. Attraction often manifests in ways that bypass conscious control, and physical contact is one of the most reliable signs. High-value men pay attention to frequency, timing, and context rather than isolated incidents. Behaviorally, subtle touches appear in many forms. She might lightly touch your arm when laughing, lean slightly against you during a group conversation, or guide you gently in crowded spaces. Even playful nudges or adjusting your clothing for you are indicators. The key is repetition and intention. Accidental contact happens once, but consistent. Small touches are rarely random. Psychologically, touch communicates closeness and emotional investment. When a woman likes you but is cautious, she uses touch as a controlled outlet for her attraction. These gestures convey comfort, trust, and interest while maintaining a veneer of restraint. Men who dismiss these signals often miss the underlying message. She's attracted but doesn't want to make it obvious. Recognizing the difference between casual contact and intentional touch is critical for interpreting hidden interest. Another layer is context. Subtle touches often occur during moments of laughter, shared conversation, or emotional connection. They may be paired with microsignals like lingering glances, mirroring, or playful teasing. Together, these cues reinforce that she is interested, even if she verbally downplays her feelings or acts aloof. High-value men notice the convergence of these behaviors and interpret them as a cohesive signal of hidden attraction. Here's how to act. First, observe patterns rather than isolated incidents. One touch might be accidental, but repeated gestures indicate conscious or subconscious interest. Second, respond naturally. Maintain comfortable physical proximity, reciprocate light touches, and match her energy without overstepping boundaries. Third, use these cues to guide the pace of your interactions. If she's comfortable with subtle contact, it's a signal that she's open to deeper connection when approached confidently. In short, subtle touches are a powerful form of hidden communication. Women who like you but try not to show it will find controlled, low-risk ways to establish physical connection. High-value men notice these behaviors, interpret them accurately, and respond with composure, building rapport while respecting boundaries. Recognizing and responding to these touches gives you insight into her attraction and allows you to navigate modern dating with confidence. 5. She asks personal questions without revealing much about herself. Another telltale sign a woman likes you but is trying not to show it is when she asks personal questions about your life while keeping details about herself minimal. She's curious about your experiences, thoughts, and feelings, but she maintains a certain distance, avoiding full disclosure. This behavior reflects hidden interest. She wants to know you better, but she's cautious about revealing her own feelings and vulnerabilities. Many men misinterpret this as simple politeness or friendliness. She may ask about your family, hobbies, past relationships, or career ambitions, and it can feel like casual conversation. The key difference is in the depth and consistency of her inquiries. If she asks repeatedly or shows genuine interest in your responses while keeping her own details guarded, she's likely attracted but exercising self-restraint. High-value men recognize that curiosity combined with subtle restraint signals hidden attraction. Behaviorally, this manifests in several ways. During conversations, she may steer topics toward your preferences, dreams, or experiences while giving short, vague answers about herself. She may follow up on things you've mentioned in past interactions, showing she remembers details. This creates a connection while keeping her emotions under wraps. Women who are disinterested rarely ask about your life in a meaningful or consistent way. Psychologically, this strategy allows her to connect without exposing vulnerability. Expressing attraction directly requires risk, and some women prefer to manage that risk carefully. By focusing on you and withholding personal details, she can gauge your interest, observe your character, and maintain control of the interaction. Men who fail to notice this pattern often assume disinterest, missing subtle cues that she's invested emotionally, even if she's trying not to show it. Another key point is timing and context. She may ask questions in text messages, during conversations, or in group settings. Often, she's genuinely listening and reacting to your answers with follow-up comments or questions. But when it comes to herself, she keeps responses light, vague, or neutral. This controlled dynamic is a protective mechanism. She's showing interest without giving away too much. High-value men understand that consistent curiosity about you, paired with guardedness about her own life, is a strong signal of hidden attraction. Here's how to act. First, notice patterns over time. 1 or 2 questions aren't definitive, but repeated interest in your life combined with self-restraint signals genuine hidden attraction. Second, reciprocate gradually. Share some personal details to build trust and encourage her to open up, but don't overwhelm her with vulnerability too quickly. Third, pay attention to microsignals accompanying her questions, like brief touches, eye contact, or playful teasing, which reinforce her concealed interest. In short, asking questions about you while staying guarded herself is a subtle but powerful way a woman signals hidden attraction. High-value men notice the pattern, interpret it correctly, and respond with confidence, building rapport while respecting boundaries. Recognizing this cue allows you to understand her interest even when she's trying to hide it, giving you an advantage in modern dating. 6. She acts slightly jealous or protective. Another subtle but reliable sign a woman likes you but is trying not to show it is when she exhibits mild jealousy or protective behavior. She may not openly express these feelings, but small reactions like a raised eyebrow, teasing comments, or subtle changes in tone when you mention other women can reveal hidden attraction. Women who hide interest often avoid overt displays of jealousy to maintain composure, but their subconscious reactions give them away. Many men overlook these cues or misinterpret them as disinterest or casual friendliness. For example, if she lightly teases you about talking to another girl or asks questions about your interactions with other women, it's often a protective mechanism rather than annoyance. These micro-reactions indicate that she values your attention and feels emotionally invested, even if she tries to hide it. Behaviorally, jealousy or protectiveness can appear in small but consistent ways. She might subtly monitor your interactions with other women in group settings, make lighthearted or sarcastic remarks about other women in your life, or show increased attentiveness when other women are around. Even slight changes in body language, such as leaning closer or making more eye contact during these moments, can indicate underlying interest. High-value men notice these patterns and interpret them as emotional investment rather than overreaction. Psychologically, these behaviors serve a dual purpose. First, they allow her to acknowledge her feelings without directly exposing vulnerability. Expressing attraction openly carries risk, and subtle jealousy lets her signal interest safely. Second, these reactions help her assess your interest and commitment. By observing your responses, she can gauge whether you notice her signals, reciprocate attention, and are emotionally available. Men who fail to recognize these cues often miss hidden attraction because they focus only on overt behaviors. Another layer of this signal is timing. Subtle jealousy often appears during specific triggers, like when you mention an ex, female friends, or colleagues. She might act slightly more reserved, playful, or attentive in response. These behaviors are usually brief but repeat consistently over time. High-value men connect these patterns with other hidden cues, mirroring, playful teasing, subtle touches, or guarded curiosity to form a complete picture of her concealed interest. Here's how to act. First, notice patterns rather than isolated incidents. One raised eyebrow or playful comment may be casual, but repeated reactions indicate hidden attraction. Second, respond with confidence. Acknowledge her subtle signals without overreacting or creating unnecessary tension. Third, use this insight to guide your interactions. Knowing she values your attention allows you to reciprocate in a way that encourages more openness without forcing vulnerability prematurely. In short, subtle jealousy or protective behavior is a strong subconscious signal that a woman is interested while trying to hide it. High-value men recognize these micro-reactions, interpret them accurately, and respond in ways that build rapport and attraction. Paying attention to these cues gives you an advantage in understanding concealed interest, navigating modern dating with confidence, and fostering a deeper connection without relying on overt confessions. 7. She compliments you indirectly. The seventh and final sign a woman likes you but is trying not to show it is when she gives indirect compliments. These aren't obvious "I like you" statements. They're subtle acknowledgments of your qualities, achievements, or personality, often disguised as casual remarks, jokes, or observations. Women who hide interest rarely make overt declarations, but indirect compliments allow them to signal attraction safely. Many men overlook these cues because they seem casual or even insignificant. She might say something like, "You always handle things so well," or "I don't know anyone else who can do that." On the surface, it sounds like a neutral observation, but the intention is to acknowledge a positive trait without appearing overly forward. Repeated instances of this behavior usually indicate interest. High-value men pay attention to consistency and context, noticing how often she highlights your strengths. Behaviorally, indirect compliments appear in many forms. She may praise your skills, sense of humor, appearance, or intelligence in passing, often during casual conversation. Sometimes she frames it as a joke or playful tease, like, "Wow, you're really full of surprises." Other times, she may express admiration when recounting stories or experiences involving you. The key is that these remarks are intentional, even if subtle, and consistently directed at you. Women who are disinterested rarely go out of their way to highlight your qualities repeatedly. Psychologically, indirect compliments serve as a safe outlet for attraction. Directly expressing admiration risks vulnerability, rejection, or revealing interest too early. By complimenting you subtly, she communicates recognition and appreciation while maintaining composure. High-value men notice that the compliment often carries an emotional undertone. Her voice, facial expressions, or timing hint at underlying feelings even if her words appear casual. Another layer to watch for is how she reacts after giving a compliment. If she smiles subtly, looks away, or shifts her body slightly, these micro-signals reinforce that the remark is more than casual. She may also test your response. gauging whether you accept the compliment confidently or shy away. Her intent is to observe your self-assurance and see if the connection can grow, all while keeping her interest hidden. Here's how to act. First, recognize patterns rather than isolated remarks. One compliment may be polite. Repeated, consistent acknowledgments are signals of hidden attraction. Second, respond with confidence and authenticity. Acknowledge the compliment naturally without overreacting, teasing her lightly, or reciprocating subtly, which encourages a positive dynamic. Third, pay attention to accompanying cues like eye contact, slight touches, mirroring, or playful teasing, which often reinforce concealed interest. In short, indirect compliments are a reliable indicator that a woman likes you but is concealing her feelings. High-value men notice these patterns, interpret them correctly, and respond in ways that build rapport and attraction. By understanding this subtle form of communication, you can navigate modern dating more effectively, recognize concealed interest, and engage with women who are attracted to you, even when they're trying not to show it. Women often hide their attraction, but subtle behaviors reveal the truth. Mirroring your actions, playful teasing, lingering eye contact, gentle touches, guarded curiosity, mild jealousy, and indirect compliments are all signals of hidden interest. High-value men notice patterns, not isolated incidents, and interpret these cues accurately. Understanding these signs allows you to recognize genuine attraction even when it's concealed, respond confidently, and build rapport without overanalyzing. In modern dating, reading these hidden signals gives you an edge, helping you connect with women who are truly interested while avoiding misinterpretation and wasted effort.